Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to the channel if you are new here. I'm Alexandra and I am back with a new speed building video for you guys. And in today's video we have a lot to talk about because this is a pretty huge build that I'm going to show to you. And we are actually on a 64 by 64 lot and we are building a Hobbit village. If you saw a previous video of mine that I did with also some Hobbit houses, that was before the Enchanted by Nature pack was out. And now that the pack is here and I used it like crazy, I have to be honest, I was so happy with the new build and buy, and I built a lot with it. I wanted to make a new Hobbit village, and this time we are in Innisgreen, the world that comes with the Enchanted by Nature pack. And that's what I did. I built a lot of Hobbit homes. And there's a twist to it because I didn't want it to make it residential, but we're gonna talk more about that in a couple of minutes because I would like to share with you that the August sale on the EA app and the Sims.com, it's on, and you could really get some Sims 4 packs on a very good discount this period of time, and these sales are gonna be up until 11th of August. And in case you want to support me as a creator, I would really appreciate if you would consider using my EA affiliate code, which is Create for Sims. And thank you so much for those who already used the code. I really appreciate you for doing that. So yes, this build, it's placed, as I said, in Innisgreen, and it's a huge build. And I said that it's not gonna be residential. I didn't start this build with the idea of making it a community space. And when I saw how big it is and how much space I have, I was like, really? Honestly, how many Sims can live here? This is huge. It's gonna be like the same repetitive bedrooms and kid rooms all over again. And I was like, can I make this something different? And so I did. I transformed this into a recreation center. But before that, I wanted it to make it a makerspace. So you know, the community lot type that comes with eco lifestyle, which is a pretty good pack. And I never did one of those spaces. You can have like a very big community space and make it as a maker or a sales type of a build where you can come here and just sell stuff. And that's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted this Hobbit village to be filled with things that you can, you know, craft and sell. But for some reasons, I couldn't make the lot work. I had some issues with that lot type, so that's why I switched it to a recreation center. So basically, all your Sims can just hang out here and work on their skills because we have a lot of activities rooms and skill building rooms. And you're gonna see that when we do the interior. And yeah, I thought it's a nice idea to have for a Hobbit village, to make it feel like an actual tiny little Hobbit town where people just gather, not just a single household will live. And at some point I considered making this residential rental with units. But then I thought, if you live in just one Hobbit house, you're not gonna be able to see your neighbors and the other house. And the lot is gonna just be, you know, half dark inside because you won't be able to see if you're not living in that unit. So that's why I switched to the idea to make it a community village. And as you can see, we are working on the first Hobbit house, which is on top of a pond, and I used the foundation that on stilts. And I think in total we have 4 main builds and a tree house, and I'm so excited about that tree house. It's more than a gazebo, but I love the fact that it's on that big tree that's now like in debug catalog. And you will see in a couple of minutes how I'm working on that. And the 4 main Hobbit builds are different for each activities. The one I'm currently working on, it's gonna be a tavern, like a bar, and I think it's my favorite space because I really enjoyed tavern vibes, and I would love to have, you know, those kind of medieval kind of items to help me build something medieval in a way. And that would be my actual dream, to have some sort of a pack that's medieval and to work on those kind of taverns that are old and woodsy and with a lot of barrels. And that was my main focus over that build. And the other two ones are gonna be for skill building. We have arts and crafts, woodworking tables, and a lot of things, even jewelry making. But we're gonna talk about that when we are in the interior. As you can see now, I worked a lot with the terrain manipulation tool because we have a lot of hills, and basically each time I'm working on a 64 by 64 lot, it's impossible to me not to use the manipulation terrain tool because, you know, I love working with terrain. I know for some of you it might seem hard, but for me it comes naturally, and I love the shapes that you can make. I know it's hard, it takes a lot of time, and speaking about time, guys, this build I believe took me more than 20 hours, and I cut off a lot of the building process because I think I would have made a speed build longer than 1 hour. So that's why you are going to see that we're building all over the place, because yeah, I couldn't leave everything I did. It took me so long. And this is the tree that I was talking about. So you know the huge tree that is in Innisgreen in the world, in Everdew neighborhood? We actually have that tree in debug, and I wanted to use it. So I added a foundation on top of it, and I made it rounded, and then I added some spandrels and columns and the roof to make it look like a tiny tree gazebo. And I loved the fact that I could actually add every branch of the tree, and it's nice when you're doing gameplay because they fade and it's not blocking your view. Also, the leaves of the tree, they don't block your view, so you can see what's happening there. And that side, it's totally functional. We have a ladder that the Sims can use to go up, and in fact that is a party area. We have a dance floor and some couches and some drinks tiny bar. And yeah, I believe the view from top, it's just gorgeous. I love how that's looking, and I think I will use even more that tree in my builds because I'm obsessed with it. Look how pretty it is. And I love the fact that I remembered that we have these leaves with the branches that come with Jungle Adventure game pack, and I loved using those as well. And they seem like, you know, the tree is very old and we have a lot of branches that are mostly falling down, and it gives, I don't know, it gives more details. And I loved I loved to place them as well. And basically on top of every Hobbit house, it's gonna be a lot of greenery and mushrooms. I don't know why I'm obsessed with the mushrooms. I said that in my latest speed builds. You've seen me using them a lot, and I still think I will use them a lot. And you know what? I don't usually use red in my builds, but these red mushrooms really, I think, make the whole build pop up a little bit more. And yeah, in the last Hobbit build, we have the bathrooms because yeah, we need bathrooms in a community a lot. And this is a tiny one. It's right here on the right side of the tree build. And yeah, it's nothing really important about it. They're just toilets because yeah, as I said, it's mandatory. So yes, as I said at the beginning, I didn't start this build with the plan of making it a community space, you know. And that is why I started to add a lot of gardening space and even an animal shed and a chicken coop and some bees, because I thought this is gonna be residential for a family, a large household, so that's why we have also gardening space and things that are actually happening on a farm. As you can see, I will add shortly the plant boxes and the crops that we're gonna be right on the right side of the map, the right side of the lot. But now that I'm thinking about this, I don't think they're gonna be so much of a use for your Sims, because this is a community lot. If you want to make this a community garden, you can, but as I said, that type lot from Eco Lifestyle didn't basically worked for me. I don't know why. I probably don't know how to make it. I never built one of those spaces, you know, the community space, the maker space, and the community market. So maybe if you know how to make those kind of community lots work, definitely let me know in the comments, because I would really love to make one at some point, to have some of those community spaces or makers spaces. That's why we even have a candle making station, because it was a necessary item for that particular lot type. And yeah, speaking about the animal sheds, they're gonna be somewhere in the back of the lot. I didn't know where to place them, but when I switched with the idea of making it instead of residential community, I considered like, okay, I will leave the animal there. They're not gonna be functional, but they're, I don't know, there, you know, and someone maybe takes care of them, even though you can't have animals that are on a community lot, because yeah, who's gonna take care of them? They are not owned by anybody, which kind of makes sense. And in fact, I decided to leave them there. Maybe someone at some point were living here and they're not living here anymore, obviously. And I don't know, the Hobbit Village, it's, I don't know, by the city hall owned, and I don't know, they just had some animal sheds there. So yes, in the back of the build, it's nothing much. We have some swing sets, we have a really cute fountain, and a lot of landscape. I added a lot of bushes and red plants because I thought they are fitting very well with the red mushrooms that are on top of the build. So yeah, basically I think that's everything for the exterior. I like very much how the whole build, you know, is blending with the neighborhood, because the neighborhood is very good. And I'm happy that I chose a 64 by 64 lot, because usually I tend to go on a 50 by 40 or 40 by 30 when I do big builds, but for this one I really loved it. And we are soon moving in the interior, and we're starting with the tavern. As I told you, I don't know why, you know what guys, I don't know why, but I'm so obsessed with this, you know, medieval tavern vibe. And you know what, I think my next build or somewhere in the future, I will actually make a tavern bar, because the vibes just feel so good. And maybe I can do that in Windenburg, because it's been such a long time since I built there. And oh my god, Windenburg actually used to be, and I think still is, one of my favorite worlds. But it's been so long since I've been there. I want to go back there. I have to go back there. And I would really appreciate if you would leave me some suggestions in the comments with what other builds would you like me to do in Windenburg or any other world that you like. I realized that lately I've been building on the newer lots in North Haven that comes with businesses and hobbies, Innisgreen. I completely, like, I didn't forget about Ravenwood. I would love to build something there. It's been, oh my god, I haven't built something there this year. I only built there when Life and Death was out, and I definitely want to build something there, because Ravenwood is also beautiful. And considering how many packs we have now, we definitely have a lot of spaces and lots that we can build on, and I'm more than happy to build for you guys. And the tavern really got some shape now. As you can see, a lot of dark woods, a lot of barrels, a lot of rugs, you know, to give it that old feel and, I don't know, dark feel. I don't even know how to call it. It's just something that's in my mind, that it makes sense to me to have a lot of candles and dark woods and barrels. And part of me thinks like some pirates, but you know, this is not a ship. But I think it somehow makes sense. And on the other house, on the other Hobbit hole, it's gonna be a woodworking room, it's gonna be a library slash apothecary room, and also a jewelry making room. And I wanted to add all of these because I thought maybe some Sims don't have everything they need at home to work on their skills, so they can easily come here and work on whatever skill they want. So we have, as you can see, the jewelry making room, we have the woodworking tables. I think we have 3 of them, and I don't know, it seems fun to me. It's like you're going, you know, to an internet cafe to study and you're just hanging there with other people doing the same thing. So I thought this is how you can do it also in The Sims. You go to a space to just, you know, work on your skills, and someone else is doing the same next to you, and you can even communicate and socialize. And I think that's a nice thing to do, and to also, you know, give a little bit of, make your game a little bit more alive and have interactions and a lot of Sims in a space. And right here upstairs, it's the apothecary slash library room. I thought people that do research, or I don't know, maybe they have a club of apothecary to finding cures and stuff like that, they like to hang out here and, you know, work together and do cures together and stuff like that. So that's why we have a lot of bookcases and this very, very big apothecary table that looks like a central room island. And you know, you can go around it and, you know, talk with your colleague and stuff like that. I don't know, it was in my mind. I don't know what I wanted to do there. And in the other build, and it's the last one, we have the art studio, the candle studio, and a tiny space for kids. And in the back porch we have some food area, because I thought if you have a need to eat and you want to grill a barbecue, you should have a space to do that. We also have picnic blankets, which is, I think it's cute. And yeah, if you're spending time here, maybe with your kids, you're gonna have a lounge area where your kids can play and, I don't know, have also a nice time and play with some other kids maybe. And you can, I don't know, paint on the easel, or I don't know, craft some jewelries or make some candles, or even do pottery, because on the top room here I added some pottery to work on the pottery skill, and you can do some really nice vases here and stuff like that. This is a really tiny room, and as you can see, I didn't have space to add many things, but you can see that I will add the juice fuzz making machine or something. Also comes with the eco lifestyle. And why is that? Because it was mandatory to make this build a maker space, but I couldn't make it a marketplace, a community garden, or a community space. So that's why it's gonna be a recreation center. But if you know how to make this, I would be more than happy to learn how and to actually make one in the future. So guys, I believe that's gonna be for this build. I'm sorry it's a longer video than usual. The build was huge. We were on a 64x64. I hope you love this build. You can get it off the gallery. My ID is great for Sims as always, and I cannot wait to see you in my next speed building video. Bye everybody.